All right, we got the 45-degree back extension here. So what differentiates this between a back extension or a hip extension is just mostly the pad placement here. So if you're trying to do a back extension, you want that pad higher. So you want it just above your hips or maybe just right at the hips. So mine even might be a little low on this. And I really like to take people through a progression here where we start with like iso holds, then we work into body weight repetitions. You're just trying to contract the low back muscles, strengthen that lumbar extension. And then you can get into more progressive techniques here where you're actually trying to use some weight. If you have a nice machine like this one, you can use this cable attachment here. These are awesome. Slow controlled repetitions, not trying to whip down and through this movement, just nice and slow and easy. And there's multiple ways you can use resistance here. So if you have a machine like this, that's great. If you don't, you can just use a plate. And when I'm doing back extensions, I like to hold a plate like this. I'm not sure why. Some people like to hold it up on the chest, but I just feel like I could control the movement better when I hold the plate down there like that. Again, slow and controlled through the full range. This is not something you want to get whippy or jerky on. But if you want to move it into a hip extension, you'll see I just moved the pad lower. So now the pad is down to the upper portion of my quad, and now I can hinge my hips over top of it, and I can actually rotate my hips with this too. So you're gonna feel this way more in your hamstrings and glutes, and you're really gonna try to contract the hamstrings and glutes, squeeze the glutes at the top. You shouldn't be feeling this in your lower back near as much, but you will feel it in your hamstrings quite a bit. So again, slow and controlled to the full range of motion, whatever your range is, and just try to squeeze the glutes, pull with the hamstrings, dig your legs into that pad, and really let your hamstrings pull. Then you can add a knee flexion here too. So this is like the finishing portion of like a Nordic curl, and this gets really tough. Okay, so you're gonna start the rep just like a regular hip extension. When you come up, you're gonna squeeze the glutes, contract the hamstrings, and pull yourself off the pad slightly. So again, squeeze the glutes here, contract the hamstrings. You're gonna feel it in the hamstrings too the whole way through, but this just adds a little bit more knee flexion that really fires up the hamstrings. Fantastic exercise. I used to use this training for football way back in the day. I wish I would have utilized it more. My opinions on these exercises have changed over the years, but I think they're both pivotal pieces of lumbar rehab, hamstring rehab, and they're just great overall.